everyone, happy Monday. Welcome into Attacking Third. We've got a huge show for you planned, a big interview with Abby Dahlkemper. We're recapping NWSL. We got A. West back on the desk alongside Darian Jenkins and Aaron West. I'm Lisa Carlin, but the big talk has been Alex Morgan and her retirement, her farewell, and Darian and I had the pleasure of covering her final match yesterday with San Diego Wave against the North Carolina Courage, and we paid homage to Alex Morgan wearing some pink pre-wrap, Aaron, and we didn't want you to feel left out. I didn't want you to feel left out.
Put it on. Listen,
so you got some pink pre-wrap for today.
I'll put it on.
He puts it right on. What a sport.
What are we doing here? Absolutely doing this.
Have you worn pre-wrap before?
Now, the question is Aaron spread out?
You roll it or spread it out?
I got to spread it out a little bit.
Yeah, you spread it out. I like that.
I have actually worn pre-wrap before. This was actually before Alex Morgan, though, because I'm a little bit older.
You made it cool before she did.
I wouldn't say I made it cool, but I did wear it before. I used to have pre-wrap. I used to have knee issues. Osgood slider. I grew way too much.
Where you wrap it and then you roll it up your leg.
Roll it up, so I take a little extra, put a little here.
Does DIL, did she wear pre-wrap?
I don't believe she was a pre-rapper.
That was
not her, yeah. She was not really an accessories person. She was all business.
This makes sense as well.
This makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Well, Aaron, you look good. I'm glad you put that right on. I wasn't really expecting you to do that.
With you and his own twist with the wrap and the tie on the side.
Hey, man, come on.
He makes everything cool.
This is for my daughter.
Everything cool. Well, Alex Morgan had a very emotional weekend. Just last Thursday, she announced that she was retiring from the game, and yesterday, would be her final match. Take a look at Alex Morgan as she says goodbye to the game.
Alex Morgan has come in, number 21. She's still in college.
And Alex Morgan delivers. Header, goal!
It just always feels good to be called a champion. I'm going to get to the point quickly. I'm retiring.
Growing up watching Alex Morgan, what was there not to love?
She's a Goliath in this game. She's meant so much on and off the field.
With 2 Olympic medals and 2 World Cups, she helped forge a legacy of excellence and put U.S. women's soccer back on top.
I think she's left a massive mark on the game. She's left it so much better than when she entered the professional space.
She carved a path for domestic professional women's league, helping define a road to sustainable success.
When we look at her history, we're going to not only see all of these titles and all of these championships and medals that she's won, but all of the strides that she's helped make for women's soccer.
A legend that has done it all and touched so many. AM13, with her iconic pink headband, caps off a stellar career.
There has been so many incredible moments in my career, but this last moment, I will cherish forever.
San Diego Wave hosted North Carolina Courage in an incredibly emotional farewell for Alex Morgan. Family and friends joined her on the pitch pre-match, and then she had a big game because North Carolina, Darian, they were there to win.
Woo! Haley Hopkins soars over her defender and gets the first of quite a few goals for North Carolina last night. But in the 8th minute here, Mackenzie Doniak inside the 18 opts to shoot and hits directly off of Denise O'Sullivan's hand. The referee points directly to the spot. And who else to step up but AM13? We were all rooting for you. We were rooting for you. And Casey Murphy had to spoil this attempt. She makes a really great save blocking Alex Morgan's shot. But this wasn't all the action.
Yeah, the drama would continue. Kennedy Wesley would indeed find the back of the net, making it 1-1 from the Maria Sanchez corner. And then we would see the sub. Alex Morgan comes out, ends her career, takes the boots off, waves goodbye. It's a massive moment in the sport, a massive moment for her, a really, really emotional moment. But unfortunately for her and for the fans, the game does go on. It's not over. Well, I guess it's fortunate for North Carolina. Felicitas Rao from the corner rises high, heads this one home, makes it 2-1. It's a strong header, strong leap. Pushes Naomi Goma off her, no foul there, but makes it 2-1
45th minute, Berkeley again on the attack. This is such a beautiful through ball. She finds Bianca St. George back post. It does get a little bit of deflection here on the defender, and it's just a tough day at the office for Sheridan. Stoppage time, North Carolina, I mean, they're not done yet. Foot on the gas pedal, and they keep rolling. This ball down the far side, Meredith Speck on the back post, wide open. That ball looked amazing, and she just continued to run through it, and North Carolina gets the 4-1 win. For more, we welcome in our good friend Sandra Herrera to talk about Alex Morgan, because, Sandra, it was a big game and a pretty quick announcement to playing her final game, 13 minutes. She says goodbye. She does the speech post-game, and then that's it. But, Sandra, what is Alex Morgan's legacy?
It's everything. I think when we look on the chapter of women's soccer, this one specifically, we're going to know who the players were that were involved in kind of elevating and changing the game during this time. And a big name is going to be Alex Morgan. She is going to be the player that perhaps a lot of soccer historians look to as really a kind of game cultural shifting type of player.
Aaron, we really haven't had a chance to get your full take on this. I mean, her career spans so long, from 15 years professional, over a decade with U.S. women's national team in the face of U.S. soccer. Where does Alex Morgan rank among the greats?
I think she will go down as one of the greatest U.S. women's national team players to pulled on the shirt. It's been really, really unique for me to see her career, because she was on Yael's team as a rookie. She was on that Western New York team. I got to see her as a very raw young player with a lot of promise, a lot of potential, but still you could tell she had the tools, but she needed to develop them. And watching her every single year, the work ethic, the desire to learn, the way that she applied herself was just, it was special to see. You could see she was going to be a special player, and then watching her actually achieve that potential. You don't see that very often, when someone, you can see the ceiling and then they actually hit it. She's done everything in this game. She has given everything back to this game. So it's been a real pleasure to watch her, and as a fan and as someone who works in this sport.
For me, the biggest thing that I love about Alex Morgan is the narrative with women, especially women's sports, is you should be thankful to be here. Your opportunity can go to millions of other people, and just accept these low standards. She's been unapologetically herself, so confident, critical when she needs to be, putting her name, her reputation, her playing career on the line to make standards much better. That is her legacy to me that we will never forget. And she's inspired so many of us. You know what? Yeah, we deserve better. This needs to be better. And I think she has left such a beautiful mark on the game globally.
At the international level, Alex Morgan was really at the forefront of the fight for equal pay with U.S. soccer and the women's national team. And since they won that fight with equal pay, she's reached out and talked with other federations and women's teams about how they can raise the standards at their own federation. And even within the NWSL in 2021, when all of the abuse scandal was breaking, she put her face and name publicly on that to support the players around her and give a voice to those that had been silenced for so long. And Sandra, it's so easy when we think about Alex Morgan to reflect on everything she's done on the pitch, off the pitch, but there is still so much more in the future. How did Alex Morgan change the game for the future generations?
You know what? I think it was really poetic, her final game. I think it was reflected literally in her last ever appearance. I mean, this was a game that was so monumental that there were 6 different platforms and methods for people to tune in and watch. That would have been unheard of a decade ago, maybe even 5 or 6 years ago, if we're being completely honest. And that's what it is. This person, this player who had such an impact on her teammates, the game that she played and loved, and really kind of her commercial reach that came with all of the weight of the responsibility that she took on, that was really placed upon her shoulders, as she was kind of elevated as this the face of women's soccer in America. And with that kind of comes all of those things like we're talking about now, and how broadcast deals look and how final games for a player like this looks. I thought it was an incredible way and kind of homage to kind of say farewell to her. The fact that you could have tuned in almost anywhere and watched her say goodbye.
There are a million favorite moments that we can pick from. I mean, she's done some pretty iconic things, heck, like the pink pre-wrap, but we're going to pick our favorites. Sandra, I'm tossing to you first. What is your favorite Alex Morgan moment?
I'm so happy that we're getting to do this because there's so many, and we're already talking about today and prior days leading up to this moment about her legacy in terms of off of the pitch and how monumental that is. And we've even talked a lot about her efforts on the pitch. I mean, this is a phenomenal player. She's in the record book. She's one of the players who's got the most goal contributions for U.S. soccer. So there's all these accolades. But for me, what I'm going to miss the most about Alex Morgan, which I don't think has been talked enough, is all of her off the ball efforts. I mean, there's not a lot of them, but whenever there were moments for Alex Morgan to get a little bit rough and tumble, she did not shy away from that on the pitch. And that is what I'm going to miss the most about her. Yeah, she's got all these goals and she's set up a bunch of them for her teammates as well. But she had to, take a lot of punishment and time to open things up for those players. And every once in a while, she had no problems throwing the fisticuffs a little bit, maybe giving a little bit of shoving. I love the quarterfinal against Colombia in the Gold Cup. And who would have thought at that moment this was going to be one of the final international tournaments that she participated in? She channeled some of that AM7 energy, which I don't know if any of us were actually prepared for, but there it is. She showed up and showed out, and that's what I'm going to miss the most about Alex Morgan.
The AM7 energy. I love that. This is a really good moment. Feisty Alex Morgan. We need that. That's an inspiration in itself. My moment, although I hate the name of this tournament, the She Believes Cup, the inaugural tournament in 2016, her goal against Germany, the double volley. She pushes her defender, little dink, a volley, and then she gets hit, hops right up, and has a little cheeky couple of touches on the ball. I remember watching this game in college, just so impressed by her finesse, her ability to get around her defender. I'm pretty sure I went and was working on volleys like this day on the training pitch. But that is a moment for me where I was like, oh, shoot, she is it. She's creating something out of nothing, splitting her defenders. And then to get up was so calm and cavalier and just have some touches on the ball. I was like, she's swaggy. I love it.
Alex Morgan scores goals in every single way. The really pretty ones, the gritty ones, the volleys, left foot, right foot, headers. She does it all. But my favorite moment is the celebrations. 2019 Women's World Cup against England. She scores the goal and then hits the sipping tea celly, silences everyone, creates some backlash too in England. She did say, hey, this is just a little nod to Game of Thrones and Sophie Turner and just spilling the tea. It has nothing to do with England, but I don't know. I think it might have.
I love that. Mine is the same moment. This World Cup is really, really special to me personally. I got to work this entire World Cup in France, talking to some of the players during it. After the Thailand match where they got so much flack for their celebrations, I spoke to Crystal Dunn, and she was like, what should we do? And for the next one, my suggestion was just chill, just very calm celebrations. And then when Alex broke out the tea celebration, it was absolutely iconic. I remember yelling real loud because every one of us Americans loves to get it over England. You knew it was a pointed barb. It was a fantastic moment, a fantastic celebration, and the way she defended it afterwards. Why are women taking this flack for celebrating when men every single day we celebrate them for celebrating. She talked about a player who had grabbed his crotch and was not castigated for it. The way that she stood on business and defended her celebration, the entire thing, incredible moment overall.
That's truly one of the themes of Alex Morgan's career, Darian, the fact that she was able to go against the grain in so many different aspects, from a CBA to player rights to just celebrations.
Yeah, she's completely professionalized women, and I think given the women's game so much more respect. Even as Aaron was sharing that story, I was thinking the men do the dumbest things sometimes, and there's nothing said about it. Yeah. Alex Morgan sipping some tea with her pinky up, playing against England. I mean, come on. But that is just on the small scale. On the big scale, she has done so much for equity. And personally, for me, being one of those NWSL players that was reporting coaches, that was falling on deaf ears, for her to use her platform to come out and actually defend and call out the NWSL and the lack of support for the players is massive, because now we're seeing other federations follow suit and players unafraid to speak out. And I think Alex Morgan is one of those catalysts that has given everybody the confidence to demand better.
The end of an absolute incredible era for Alex Morgan. Sandra, what's next for her? Any idea what's on the horizon for Alex Morgan?
Yeah, I love that she shared a little bit of that in her pregame availability, kind of mentioning the fact that what's most important is the fact that their family is growing, and so they're going to welcome a new addition to that growing family. But she's already kind of sprinkled around some of her next steps. She talked a lot about her foundation, the Alex Morgan Foundation. She launched a media company as well. We've seen all of the Together shirts. They're incredible. You see them in every single event, women's sporting event, especially nowadays. And those are maybe some of the channels in which she's going to use to remain a huge part of the women's sport landscape in general. She definitely alluded to the fact that she is not interested in being on the sideline when it comes to coaching, but that she wants to be more involved in the investment of women's soccer, which is something that she believes in. And that shouldn't be shocking at this point, because of everything that she did to kind of help uplift the sport, grow the league here in the United States. Of course, Alex Morgan's next step is going to want to be the continuity of that moving forward. So I love it. It's the pinky for me.
Love that. Sandra, obviously waxing poetic about Alex Morgan, but last night the ladies in our own desk got to wax poetic about this lady and honor her. You gotta love that. Yes. We got everybody in the building.
Everybody was
great.
in the pink. Look at Lisa drinking, cosplaying as Alex Morgan.
Correct, with the uniform. And then, Aaron, we got you a little piece of the pink for your app. Sandra, you're next. We're going to send some pink for your app to you.
For me. Yeah, I had to throw it on.
I love
Alex
it.
Morgan, thank you for an incredible career, for being able to watch you from growing up to a little girl to covering your game now as a broadcaster. It has been an absolute honor. Can't wait to keep watching your game. Don't go anywhere. We've got plenty more Attacking Third, because we had NWSL action outside of Alex Morgan's farewell game, and we're recapping it all next. Welcome back to Attacking Third. Big NWSL this weekend of action, and a lot of games that mattered in this one. When we take a look at Friday night, how the action started, it was with Angel City taking on Seattle. And this was a big match because there were playoff implications on the line. Depending on how things shook out, it was going to mean fireworks for Orlando Pride. As we take a look at Sydney Leroux getting things started at BMO Stadium. 8 minutes in, Aaron. LA on the attack.
Yeah, Alyssa Thompson here with her 4th goal in 3 matches. She's on a little tear. She's got her confidence back. She's scoring, looking good. But Seattle would fight back in the 28th, 29th minute. This ball through here. Didi Haraches is going to come out and commit the foul. Jordan Heitema gets taken down, and Sofia Huerta would step up, tuck that one home, make it 1-1, even it up for Seattle. Just before the half, Ji So-yeon, the right-footed strike from the top of the box. It's a nice little header knotted down there. She turns well, gets it out of her feet. What a strike that is, just directly under her, but she pings it into that corner. It's a great strike from Ji, makes it 2-1 for Seattle. But they would then make this one 3-1 in the 58th minute. The Sierra King makes it 3-1 from the Chernogovic assist, but LA would get one back just at the death, trying to make it a little interesting. A really, really good ball from M.A. Vignola. Sid Leroux there.
You can never count Sid Leroux out. Seattle get the 3-2 win. Meanwhile, Washington Spirit hosted the Portland Thorns. Magic Johnson, the newest investor of the Spirit, in attendance. Second half is when things started to unfold, Darian.
The ever so graceful Hina Sugita just gets this ball here and wraps her foot around it, and the bend, the angle facing away from the goal. Aubrey Kingsbury can't do anything but watch it go into the back of the net. But Spirit had an answer. Ashley Hatch sends this ball forward to Trinity Rodman. 2v1, who cares? She's going to cut it inside, go near post, and finish. My favorite part of this, though, is the slam dunk she does to Magic Johnson over on the side. Legendary.
She said she was trying to get a little alley from him, but he didn't quite pick up what she was putting down.
He didn't catch on. It's the Gen Z thing. He's a little behind. It's Rodman again who gets end line, crosses us in for Lacey Santos with kind of a diving header, gets her first goal for the club.
1 goal, 1 assist for Trinity Rodman as gives the Washington Spirit 3 points in the win over Portland. That is 41 points on the season for Washington, a single season club record. Aaron, what's the X factor right now at Washington Spirit?
They're starting to put it together. I think that Jonathan Herrera has got this team really cooking. They seem very comfortable with each other. They've got a lot of really strong attacking options in this front three, front four, whatever you want to call it, however they're playing. But I think that they're really just starting to click. I think Herrera's confidence is rubbing on them. The way that they play, they move the ball around is starting to look very dangerous at this point in the season, I think.
Meanwhile, for Portland Thorns, it's 3 straight losses, just 1 win in their last 7. It's crunch time for the Thorns. Elsewhere in the NWSL, Kansas City Current, they bounced back with a 1-0 win over Utah Royals, Aaron, and the fans were out. Even Patrick Mahomes, Brittany Mahomes, but second half, who else? Who else?
Yeah, we got Mahomes magic, and then we got Chawinga magic. Look at her takeoff on this run. There's absolutely nothing the defender can do. It's a perfectly weighted ball from Lola Bonta. 8 consecutive games with a goal for Temwa Chawinga, her 15th of the season, and she is the X factor. There may not be a bigger X factor in this league than her.
For me, just
MVP
watching.
candidate, Darian?
Absolutely. You want to fight me about it? Come on.
I mean, when you look at what she's done this year, 15 goals in just 19 matches, she leads the Golden Boot, but it's really 8 straight matches with a goal. Darian, how hard is it to score that consistently in the NWSL?
It's incredibly difficult, especially when your team isn't winning. There are things that are going wrong with Kansas City. They haven't been able to solve conceding goals, especially in those transition moments off of their own mistakes in the back. Doesn't matter. You can still rely on Temwa Chawinga to score goals. That's why I think she should possibly get MVP 100%, because even when Kansas City's not doing great, you can send a ball forward. You can expect her to create something out of absolutely nothing. She also does some unorthodox things. Even just then, watching her go 1v1 against the keeper, she doesn't do any sort of move. She doesn't try to make the goal bigger in any sort of way, put it to a preferred foot. She goes straight at the keeper, makes her. But with such a quick trigger of a shot, it's so fun to watch. It's so different the way she technically is. And for me, I don't think there's anybody that's been able to really lock her down in a game.
MVP is definitely a player that changes the game. Without them on the pitch, they can't do it. So is she a nominee for you, Darian, or is she going to win it?
I believe she'll win it.
Aaron, what do you think?
For me, it comes down between her and Barbara Banda. I don't think there are really other candidates for it at this point. Those two are far
I would have
away
argued
from
Croy Bethune could have been in there.
Before she got injured, I think if there
yeah.
weren't 7 matches left in the season, she was on track to be in that conversation, absolutely. But right now, I think it's Barbara Banda and Temwa Chawinga, and how important Temwa is to this team. Obviously, Barbara Banda, where Orlando goes, Barbara is taking her. But without Chawinga, I think this Kansas City team would be a mid to lower half team.
Ooh, I like Barbara Banda in this race for MVP, though. You
can't take her out of it.
Yeah.
It's
really going to be who scores more in the next couple games.
I think it's who scores more and like where they end up in the top of the table.
But
obviously,
if Chawinga even wins the Golden Boot, I think Banda could still win MVP. To me, those are not synonymous. It doesn't mean, it's the impact that Banda has off the ball and being able to set up her teammates and do more of an all-around player.
Imagine those two playing together.
We need an all-star game. We need an NWSL all-star game. We're getting there. We're getting there. There were more games for this one. It was Bay FC taking on Racing Louisville. Bay in this matchup, they're at home at PayPal Park. Asisat Oshuala getting some pregame ritual in. 75th minute, Darian.
It is Asisat Oshoala who gets the lone goal. Just keep your eye on her movement here in the 18. She's getting around her defender. She sees the deflection, wraps her foot around it, and sends it into the back of the net. Just look, she loses her defender, comes back in, is reading where the deflection goes. This is what an out-and-out 9 does. This is what makes Oshoala such a lethal player. And then her celly, the golfing celebration. I love it. Let me just put this away.
So good. That's 2 straight wins for for Bay FC. Meanwhile, Gotham FC at Red Bull Arena taking on the Houston Dash. This match, Aaron, 10 minutes in. Of course, it's Gotham on the front foot.
Yeah, Esther Gonzalez is going to find Yasmin Ryan there. Nice little slip through ball. With the composure, Yasmin Ryan makes it her second in her last 3 matches, 3rd goal of the season. But a little bit against the run of play, Houston would find an equalizer. It's a good ball to the back post from Avery Patterson. Diana Ordonez loses her mark. It's a good header from her, makes it 1-1. And we would have to wait until 90+3. They made us sweat yesterday in the stadium. But eventually, Esther Gonzalez did find the equalizer. It pops out from Lynn Williams. She digs it out of her feet. Esther finds the back of the net. On the turn, it's a good touch, it's a good turn on a very, very good defender, and a great win for Gotham.
11 regular season wins for Gotham, setting a new club record this year, and a lot of it having to do with this Spanish international, Esther Gonzalez. I mean, take a look at these stats from yesterday. She played a full game, 1 goal, 1 assist, 4 shots. The efficiency, Darian, is there. How does she change the game for Gotham?
She brings energy. If you watch Esther play, this is for everybody that enjoys watching the game and really wants to learn about how to just be a buzzing forward, how to really affect the game without touching the ball so much. Watch how Esther moves. She's constantly checking in and out, constantly asking for the ball, shifting defenders around, and that leaves a lot of space for the likes of Lynn Williams, Crystal Dunn, Rose Lavelle, other players to eat up space just because she causes so much confusion for a defense.
Huge moments for Gotham as they pick up that win. It's now a 4-match home win streak for Gotham at Red Bull Arena. Chicago took on the Giants, Orlando Pride, and Orlando clinched a playoff spot even before stepping onto the pitch. That happened Friday in Seattle's win. But in this match, in the 37th minute, it's obviously Marta. I feel like we got good, impressive, legendary goal scorers this weekend.
Yeah, she said, let me get on the score sheet. He says, go the way I did it, and then wrap her foot around this. I mean, what a brilliant shot in traffic, through the number of players in front of her from distance, low, far post. That is such a difficult technique, and she makes it look so ever graceful, so easy. What a legend on the game. But in the 75th minute, Orlando had another attempt. Barbara Banda gets on the end of this cross, but it's Kuika here. Such a smart defender on the goal line, makes this diving header save. Nair was going past her fingertips, and even Banda can't believe that that was saved. But a brilliant win from Orlando and a hard-fought loss for Chicago.
Take a look at this momentum chart.
That
the purple is Orlando,
ridiculous.
and the blue is the Red Stars. Aaron, they never had a chance, huh, the Red Stars?
That is actually ridiculous.
This is insane.
It's a perfect representation of the match, though. It really is. Chicago was not in this at all. It was all Orlando. Definitely should have had more goals than one. But what a performance. What a season for this Orlando team.
Orlando remain unbeaten, extend their streak to 20 straight games, and of course they clinch a playoff spot with the match on Friday night with Seattle getting the win over Angel City. Now Orlando just fighting for the Shield. They want that #1 spot. But right now in the NWSL, it is all about the standings. And the top 8 with the newly expanded playoffs this year in the NWSL mean that the top 8 go through. Here's a look at the top half of the standings. Of course, Orlando Pride at the top, running all the way through Bay FC. Expansion side in 7th place, Aaron.
Ow.
When you look at these teams, no team has clinched the Shield so far. Bay can no longer win it, but who is most likely to win the Shield?
The team that's sitting in #1 right now, the best team in the league, Orlando Pride. They are so comprehensively, just a comprehensive team. They're really, really well coached. They have a fantastic defense, really, really strong midfield, and then an elite, an S-tier striking unit, attacking unit. So they are so well set up to go into the playoffs. They have an incredible squad overall. I think they will secure the Shield, but this is the team right now.
Darian, you know NWSL probably better than anyone. With 7 matches left, how much movement can you predict will happen?
It's chaos. We know this. It is unpredictable. I think there's going to be upsets. Teams are going to change their tactics. You have teams that, like an Angel City, for example, we saw last year make an insane playoff run. Seattle are heating up with G. Chicago, I don't foresee them making it. I think that they've fallen off. I haven't seen enough of a convincing season from them, to be honest. So I think there's going to be a lot of upsets, a lot of different high-scoring games, a lot of hard-fought wins, but it's going to be very telling who has the right attitude to get through this final push to make playoffs.
It is all about that attitude, and the playoff push is definitely on in the NWSL. Who will crack into the top 8 and make the expanded playoffs format? Don't go anywhere. We've got plenty more attacking third. Abby Dahlkemper, newest member of Bay FC, joins us next. Perhaps the biggest trade happened on Monday with defender Abby Dahlkemper being traded from San Diego Wave to Bay FC. This is a world-class defender.
I grew up in Menlo Park, 20 minutes away, and just thankful to represent such an amazing club that is pushing the standards for women's soccer.
She's one of those players that's won every single thing at every stage of their career. So for Bay to acquire her was massive. You're getting the leadership and experience, the ability to play out of the back, which is something Bay has really struggled with.
When you add an international of her ilk, just in training, it makes you a little bit sharper. You've got that leadership. She's an all-around player. So this won't just help keep goals out of the back of the net. I think this really, really raises the level of this Bay team.
She's also a set-piece taker and a finisher, as she is proving in the NWSL.
Backside Bailey, lifted and headed in! Oh, wow! Abby Dahlkemper makes an immediate statement in a Bay kit.
We are pleased to be joined now by that legend defender, Abby Dahlkemper. Abby, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to chat to you guys.
You are back in the Bay, back at your hometown, as you said it, and played 2 matches there already. But how did this trade come about? Because it took us by surprise here, but it's good to see you fitting in. How did it come about?
Yeah, I mean, I think, when the Bay came last year and was going to be an expansion side, it definitely was something that was of interest to me, just because I think it's rare in an athlete's career that you're able to play in your hometown in front of 20 plus friends and family every game. So I wanted to take advantage of that if possible. And thankfully, San Diego Wave was very understanding of me coming home, and the Bay wanted me. So I'm just so happy to be here.
Of course, Bay wanted you. I'm sure every NWSL team was like, please, please. But back to Bay, I love this for you. You're back home, and you're back with our other Bruin, your bestie, Caprice Didasco. Yes, how is that, being back with your best friend and working and playing again in that really pivotal relationship you two have on the field?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, and I'm not trying to be biased, but Caprice is one of the best outside backs in the league. Both defensively and offensively. I think, her defensive game has improved so much, and you're seeing her, win tackles and really start the attack from the back. And I think that's so important. But I think just our relationship off the field has made our relationship on the field very seamless. And I feel like we're kind of telepathic, where we don't need to talk much. We kind of just see each other go somewhere, and I'm covering her and she's covering me, so it's a great relationship.
Now, you talk about your relationship with Caprice Didasco. Obviously, you go way back with her. You're forming a new center back partnership with Emily Menges, and I know how hard that can be to build, especially in the middle of a season. But you played 2 games, only 1 conceded. How is that partnership coming along, and what are you guys doing to work on that being thrown together? Yeah, Emily is an amazing, center back. She is athletic. She's experienced. She reads the game well. And I think when you're playing with a
high IQ soccer player who knows what they're doing. It's very easy or she makes my job easier. So I think, again, it's been really great to work with her. She's awesome. She's leading the team. She's captain. She's, played every minute almost, and she's so important to this team. So I'm just honored to be able to play next to her, continue to build that relationship and stop more goals.
Being back playing with Caprice Dydasco, that's not the only reunion for you. You also have a prior relationship with Albertine Montoya, and you've worked with him before in your youth playing days. Now, seeing Montoya as a head coach in the professional game, how is he different as a coach?
I'm just proud of him. I'm so proud of him, and it's amazing to see him, coaching at the highest level. The NWSL is extremely hard. It's the parity in the league, competitiveness, and I think he's doing an amazing job. And I think it is not an easy job to come in as an expansion side and as a head coach the first year, and to be able to be in the playoff hunt. And everything to play for is incredible, and credit to Albertine and the coaches for getting the group to where we need to be right now and just focusing on what we can one day at a time.
Abby, you were with San Diego Wave at one of their first signings as an expansion team in the NWSL, and you jumped from one expansion team to another, but you really helped build up San Diego. What experiences are you bringing from San Diego as an expansion side to Bay?
Yeah, I think just the most important thing for me, I think, is just culture. I think building and forming the right culture, getting the right pieces in, the players, getting to know each other. And, really, I think this first year, there's nothing to lose. And I think, everything to gain. So I think as I've come in, I think just tried to bring my leadership experience, helped be myself. I like to laugh, make jokes, and the girls, the staff, the support staff have been amazing here. So anything I can do to help this team, I will. And it's just been incredible and so enjoyable so far.
All right, now, Abby, you've been on both sides of the coin with Alex Morgan. You've had years as her teammate. You've also played against her. What does it feel like to you? Is it a bit bittersweet knowing that she is exiting the game, but also that you don't have to mark her anymore?
Yes. I mean, I can go on and on about how incredible Alex is, not only as a soccer player, but just a person, and she, so many, boys, girls, just look up to her, and she's changed the game on and off the field. And to be able to have a part of her in my journey and to be a part of her journey is just incredible. And I'm just so proud of her and proud and excited for her to, be expanding their family and her to take, the next step in her journey of life and to close the chapter. And I was watching, the whole game, even when she got subbed out, and just, the game will definitely miss Alex, but she's left a permanent stamp on this game.
Retweet. Back to Bay. Bay's in 7th place with a really big playoff push, with you guys just catching steam and you coming in and scoring some goals, which I'm going to ask you about that later. But what is the mindset like for this final push to make that playoff cutoff and postseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think, of course, we want to make playoffs, but I think just focusing on what we can control. And I think that's our game ahead of North Carolina, and that's a game away against North Carolina, which, they are heating up at the right time. They scored 4 goals yesterday. So definitely, I think just like focusing on what we can control and just taking it one day at a time, and just focused on our performance and what we can do. And I think letting other teams worry about us.
I love that. Letting other teams worry about you, and especially you when you're up in the freaking 18, because we got 2 goals in the last 2 games.
Ouch. Be sneaky around.
You're not hiding out there.
Yeah. Now we know everyone's circling you as if they weren't before. But Ab, you're scoring goals. What's the next Selly gonna be? We need to come up with something.
Yeah. Well, listen, I do not expect to score goals, but when I score goals, I'm so happy. And, I've had amazing service. Maria's left foot is incredible. And Dorian's ball back in was just incredible too. And just there to don't get in off my head. So, but yeah, I know I definitely should maybe come up with a goal celebration for next time. But yeah, we'll see.
It's hard to celebrate when you're falling into the side netting of the goal. Really life and limb on the line there, Abby, to get the goal. You played at UCLA with our one and only Darian Jenkins here at the desk. I heard you lived together as well. I have to know, what was it like living with Darian in college?
Please say good things.
Oh my gosh. I literally was just telling my husband this morning that Darian was such a beast in college. And, she had that unfortunate injury that maybe just affected her a little bit. And, the timing of when players retire is obviously not ideal when it's kind of deals with an injury. But Darian was amazing, the best teammate you could ask for, an incredible person. I just remember looking up to her, even though she was younger than me. And she was just so calm and poised on and off the field. And she's incredible and killing it now. So just proud of her.
Don't make me cry.
Calm and poised. We don't get that up here. We get chaotic and all over the place.
That was also an incredibly professional answer because she didn't actually say what it was like to live with you.
She said nothing about living together.
It was her off air.
She just said you were a calm person.
She said off air. I'll tell you about it.
Clean and calm. Clean and calm.
That is media training right there.
That is. Okay, Abby, we'll talk. We'll talk. I need the dirty details from that. We are creating an attacking third playlist, and we have to know from you, Abby, what is the #1 song on your pregame playlist right now?
Okay, well, this is new as of 2 weeks, but Rachel Kudamanji has put me onto Barbie Girl by Aqua. So I'm just totally into that song, and we have it on repeat in the locker room sometimes. So we get hyped to that, which is so funny and ridiculous, but it kind of slaps.
Cue it up. Cue it up. Put it on the pregame rotation for us in studio. Abby, thank you so much, and good luck the rest of the way with Bay.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you taking the time.
And we'll be in touch about Darian living with her. Don't go anywhere. Plenty more attacking third when we get back. Stick with us. Welcome back to Attacking Third, brought to you by CarMax, the way car buying should be. We are in the midst of a lot of football happening right now. One of those tournaments is the CONCACAF W Champions Cup. This is an inaugural tournament that the group stage running from August through October. The top 2 teams in each group will advance to the knockout round, but that's not until next spring, May 2025. We'll catch you up on that once we get there. But this serves as qualification tournament for the inaugural FIFA Women's Future Club World Cup. As we take a look at the group stage results from Matchday 2, Santa Fe taking on the Vancouver Whitecaps, and Whitecaps winning 2-1. Portland getting the 3-1 win over Club America. Gotham putting away Alajuelense, 4 goals in on them, and Monterrey putting 5 in over Fraser's Whip. It's been a pretty exciting tournament so far, just 2 match days in as we take a look at the tables. Only 2 groups, and the top 2 teams will advance. So right now, Gotham, Tigres, Alajuelense, Monterrey all tied on 3 points, with Fraser's Whip still searching for their first point. Meanwhile, in Group B, Club America sits atop the table at 3 points, and then Portland, San Diego, Vancouver, and Santa Fe. So the way that the group stage will work, each team gets a bye week, play 2 home matches and 2 away matches. So a little bit of travel mixed into all of this. But in match day 2, the results were pretty big for Gotham FC. They put away 4 over Alajuelense. Gonzalez, Stengel, Neishwanger, and Sheehan getting goals, Aaron. But what difference do you see in Gotham from their NWSL play to this Champions Cup play?
None. This is Gotham. I think their playing style is so just imprinted in how they do everything. They don't change the way they play for any opponent. It was a good win. A trip down to Costa Rica, which was probably a very, very sweaty trip. You see how warm it was. It was wet out there, but the biggest thing is you try to get out of these without any injuries. You get some playing time for players that might not necessarily be first choice in NWSL play. But yeah, overall, this tournament for me is, I think we're going to see some growing pains, but the fact that we're
we have this tournament and the fact that we have this intercontinental competition, the fact that we are getting these clubs from different parts of our landscape is amazing. We need more of that. It
sure
opens
is.
the game up. It's just beautiful to see.
If I recall correctly, we did a wish list. Always laughing at me. We did a wish list maybe last Christmas or something like that, sometime last year. And I think you said you wanted there to be a Club World Cup.
Yep, that was it. I got my wish.
Look at the universe. Wow.
Someone's listening.
Look at the universe.
Give me someone in power. Someone in power is listening. Yeah, it's really cool to kind of watch it unfold. And we still get a lot more of this because the group stage runs through October, of course, with the knockout round starting next spring. But take a look at the action that'll start again on September 18th. Some big matchups here on Golazo Network and a big one, Gotham against Monterrey on CBS Sports Network. We got a little NWSL clash, too. 10 p.m. on September 18th, San Diego Wave taking on the Portland Thorns, and Club America against Santa Fe FC on September 19th. That'll be match day 3 in this tournament. 3 points on the line, a lot for these teams pushing for qualification into the knockout rounds, and then of course to compete in the inaugural FIFA Women's Club World Cup. A lot more to come from the CONCACAF W Champions Cup, and of course we keep you updated when you're watching Attacking Third. And don't go anywhere because we are filling you in on all of the news that's coming up next in the NWSL, the transfers and trades and everything that has happened around the NWSL. Welcome back to Attacking Third. The big news out of Utah as they announced the mutual termination of contracts with midfielder Amadine Henry and forward Ifeoma Onumonu. Henry, she was traded from Angel City to Utah in April and just 4 match days into the season. She's played 10 matches with 9 starts in Utah. Meanwhile, Ifeoma, she was traded to Utah from Gotham at the end of 2023, spent the entirety of this year in Utah with 5 appearances. And there's been a lot of change at Utah. Addison Merrick, defender, also leaving Utah. She played 7 matches this year, but with forward Ifeoma Onumonu, the Nigerian striker, she signs with Montpellier, the first Nigerian player to sign there, and she spent her entire career in the United States. So big moves for Onumonu as she moves over to France. Some other big signing news. Forward Cece Kaiser, she left Houston a few days ago, and now she has signed with Gotham FC through 2025. She appeared in 5 games with 3 starts for Houston, recording 216 minutes this season with the Dash. Aaron, this is a big acquisition for Gotham. It feels like Juan Carlos Amoros is just gobbling up all the goal scorers.
Yeah, I think especially with a player of Cece Kaiser's profile, maybe hasn't had the greatest season this year, but she's a goal scorer. She's an efficient striker of the ball. Her off-the-ball movement is great. She's a hard worker. She's 27 years old, right in her prime. I think it's a great pickup for Gotham.
Meanwhile, for Ifeoma Onumonu, she leaves Utah and she signs in France. D, is this a good move for her career?
It's a great move. Playing overseas, especially in France, it's going to ask different qualities of your game to improve. You have a lot more time on the ball. Defenders give you space. No one's in your face like they are in the NWSL. I think this is a good move, a fresh start. She's going to go ball out in France. Shout out, Ify.
Montpellier is not a bad city either.
It's a great city.
It's not a bad place to be.
Montpellier is great.
You got to give her some recs for where to go, what to do, all the things. It's exciting.
You're already planning a trip out there, aren't you?
I'm going in December.
I'm sure she is.
I saw it in your eyes. She was like, Rex, I'm going to be there.
I'm sure she is. Thanks, everyone, for watching today's show. It was a lot to catch you up on as we said goodbye to Alex Morgan and recapped the NWSL weekend, but it was a good one. Thanks for being with us. This episode of Attacking Third was brought to you by CarMax, the way car buying should be. Sandra and I will be back on YouTube on Wednesday, and we're back in studio on Thursday to fill you in on the weekend. See you then.